Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Hare Krishnas in Britain podcast. This is episode number 64. Very auspicious number. The Hare Krishnas in Britain podcast is brought to you by the Hare Krishna Project, which is an initiative in the UK to try and share Krishna consciousness with ordinary, everyday people in the kind of Western society that are keen to hear about Krishna consciousness and Bhakti philosophy. And this podcast is a podcast where we try and hear stories from devotees, not just in the UK, despite the name, but from around the world. And we now have a lot of devotees who want to take part in the podcast because we've developed this kind of reputation for being a bit kind of straight talking and kind of no hidden agenda. I have no hidden agenda. I'm keen for devotees, whoever they are, wherever they are, to share their story. And I'm sure that's going to happen again today with our guest. I'm really pleased to welcome our guest, Gauranga Sundar Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
It's great to have you as guest number 64 on this podcast.
Yeah, Bhakti Siddhant's number 64 on chanting, so that's an auspicious number to have it.
Yes, absolutely. So in a moment, people will know which organization you're from, but let's just start maybe, well, you can say what you want when you want. The questions I put together are more of a guideline. It's more of a conversation. So tell us a bit about you and where you're from.
Well, Prabhu, I'm from India, and right now currently I'm in Jaipur, and I've been with ISKCON in Krishna Conscious movement for the last 25 years. Actually, I'm from a Jain background. My father and all are Jains, so I was like into understanding philosophy and everything from very beginning. And I studied in a Catholic school, so I was into reading Bible and everything. And my friends were more Muslims and good friends, so I had that kind of Islam knowledge also with me. And I was Jain, so I was like getting bombarded with so much knowledge, who is God and who's Allah and everything, and so I was like, who is God, because someone says, my Father in heaven, holy be your name, so it's in heaven. And someone says, he has no form. And in Jainism we say that there can be anyone, 24 gods can be there. So like it was confusing me very much. So, and then I had a rough time, before I came to Krishna Conscious, in my personal life. So I was kind of very frustrated. And one day I went, it was, just before Diwali, big celebration. I went on my terrace and I just, like a, Hindu, like a fanatic Hindu, I just shouted, looking at the sky, if you're there, show me. I was like really shouted, if you're there, show it to me. Who are you? Just I want to know. So I just came down after some time, and then in Diwali we do our, cleaning up of all the cupboards and everything. So it was my turn to clean up the cupboards. So I was like cleaning up the cupboards, and then I found, when I was cleaning this one locker, like a locker, So I just took the key from my parents and I opened the locker. And in the locker, there was Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. I was like, what is this book doing in the locker here? I was like, my father became a life member of ISKCON in 84, I think. 84 or 86 something, he became a life member. And since then, the book was lying in the locker, locked only. No one even cared to open it. No one even cared to open the book, lying. So I was like, what is this, Bhagavad Gita? And the lucky it was the 72 edition, the unedited one, Bhagavad Gita inside, So I was like, what is this, And then I like to paint, like to draw and paint. And so I just was turning and I saw some nice pictures, Prabhupada picture, and, different pictures were there. So I said, okay, let me try painting. It looks like nice pictures. So I started painting and all. And then, in Prabhupada, pictures, there are quotes in the lower, as the embodied soul passes from bio to you, then on. So I was reading those quotes. I was like, wow, this is like, some good philosophy is here. So then while drawing and painting, I started reading also. And then as I got hooked to reading, because I was looking after the answers to my so many questions which I had. So really, I was like, go on reading. Then my painting took the back seat. I forgot I had to paint and I had to draw. And now I was like hooked to the reading of philosophy. So I was reading, and I completed the whole Bhagavad Gita. And then I looked, okay, do I have some other books? So then there was this, teaching of Lord Chaitanya and this Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam first canto was there. They gave, and all teaching of Queen Kunti and many other books. So I was like, now I'm going to read it. So next 6 months, I got Bhagavatam also, more Bhagavatam from the whole set from ISKCON. And next 6 months, I was just reading and reading and reading. It was like, my parents and all, what has happened to you? You never read so much in your whole school life, in your college life. You never read so much. What are you reading? Or like, I'm reading something about scientific, science, because I just was just telling them some stuff, that, I'm reading about, researching on some science topic. So I said, okay. And I used to cover the book and read, go on reading. And at the end of 6 months, I literally had 1,000 questions. I should write on all the questions, So I had 1,000 questions. So one finally day I said, okay, now how to get the answers to these questions. So I went to, let's go to ISKCON, Jew temple, in Mumbai. I was in Mumbai that time. So I went to the Radha Ras Bihari Jew temple. And, I was like taking darshan, and, it was like, the Prabhupada Murti was there. So, I had for the second time seen Prabhupada Murti. Before that, when I was a small child, that time my grandfather took me to the Jew temple. And that time it was like a unique experience. When I saw Srila Prabhupada Murti, I thought he's sitting there. So I just went there and I said, I just do Hare Krishna, namaste to that person. And then, I thought that he will reply to me back. I was like, because that Murti looks so, natural. So I was like standing, okay, reply, Again I said, namaste, like I'm saying just for a reply, Then my grandfather comes along, oh, ye to murti hai, murti hai. So I was like, well, but, I thought that this person can speak, because he's sitting there, he looks like such powerful. So I had that memory when I went to the ISKCON. So I went to Srila Prabhupada and I paid my obeisances. I knew his murti, and I was like, please help me to understand, whatever you have written. And I've come here to understand with understanding. So send me someone here, who can explain it to me. So that time it was, I think, 4:10 p.m. in the afternoon. The temple opens for the afternoon aarti, and I attended the aarti. And then the bookstall opens there. Next to there was a bookstall. Now they've shifted the bookstall to behind, but now before that there was a bookstall there. So there was this one Arvind Prabhu. He was that time. So I just went to him with all my questions, So he was like, what is this? This is my, questions, 1,000 questions I have. So he's like, okay, I'll answer. Then he used to call me every afternoon and after the temple closes to the temple open, like 3-4 hours. He used to sit with me and explain to me the entire Krishna conscious philosophy. And then slowly, I was like, oh, wow, now all the pieces and the bits and everything which was missing, it's finally coming together. Who is God? What is his name? Where does he live? Who are we? What is our relationship with God? How to reestablish that relationship? The Sambandh, the Abhidhe, and the Prayojan. Everything is now getting clear to me in my head. And I said, okay, now this is what, I was looking after for so many times, so many years. Now I finally got it. So now what to do next, So I asked the Prabhu, what to do next? He said, now start chanting. So I said, okay, how many rounds? He said, 16 rounds is minimum. You can start with some 2-4 rounds. So I started with 4 rounds, and I gradually increased. And then on just 2 months, 1 month after that was Ram Navami. So on that day, I took the vow that I'll chant 16 rounds from that day. So I started my 16 rounds. I left onion, garlic, everything. Even though we were Jains, we are not supposed to eat onion, garlic, but we used to eat onion, garlic. In our family, it's like, onion, garlic means, they love it. So, so it was a difficult, time for me to leave onion. My parents said, why you want to leave onion, garlic and all, everyone eats, So I said, okay, either, you all stop cooking with onion, garlic, or I leave the house and I become brahmachari. So they were like, no, you just stay here, we'll leave onion, garlic, okay, So they used to not cook for me onion, garlic, and, like that, So it was like quite a, they accepted it. Okay, then slowly, I was introduced to Ramrup Prabhu. He was that time the ISKCON Inc. Youth Forum head. So then I started doing seva there and started reading, doing Prabhupada book distribution. And I was like fired up to the book distribution. I used to go take the books and go on Harinam Sankirtan sometime on the stations and just alone book distribution alone. for many, many years, I just did alone book distribution, one person, and many times is to not go, and many times it just goes like anything, So then one day, it's like amazing, like if you have anyone of you have been to Jew temple on the 5th floor, Prabhupada quarters, there's a Jal Duta model. Prabhupada went. So, how did we get that model? I'll just give you the story. So we were invited to the Navy, Navy College to do book distribution. So we went to the Navy College and we did book distribution. We put the table there. Books were not going, whole day, no books went. So, it was like really, frustrating. So we were praying to Prabhupada, please, let some book go, let some book go. So as the day was coming to end, suddenly we see 1%, 2%, 3% coming, and we had this 1,000 Bhagavad Gitas which we had carried. And you won't believe, in the next 1 hour, all Bhagavad Gitas went away. Everyone took. It was like hot cakes, going like. So even the management was like, what's happening? Why so much crowd there? So management inquired, who are they? And so they came there from ISKCON, distributing Bhagavad Gita, and people are buying like crazy. So they called, oh, ISKCON, okay, we can call them. So we went to meet the Vice Chancellor, I think the Vice Chancellor of the Navy, it was in the dockyard. We went to meet that. And then as we entered the office, we saw this Jal Duta model lying there. And we were like, Jal Duta, me and my, one more devotee, Jal Duta, Prabhupada went on this. So the Vice Chancellor, yes, your founder Acharya went on this Jal Duta to America. So that, wow, so can we have it? Okay, you can take it, So we took that model, and that model is now finally in Prabhupada quarters, a 5th floor in Jew temple. So this is how, how Jal Duta model also we came to ISKCON. And like, yeah, this is how, then I did a lot of youth preaching that time, a lot of youth preaching. We used to have this question answer sessions where we used to invite all new people to come and ask us whatever they want on philosophy, and I used to answer them. Lots of thousands of book distribution. We had this book distribution party where on the during the the December month, marathon month, our party is to do 15,000, 20,000, 50,000 Gitas. That was the kind of target we used to have. We used to achieve that target. This was 97, 98, 99 I'm talking of. So that time. So this is how my my Krishna consciousness took shape in the initial years. And then,
so how old were you at the time? I mean, how old were you when you kind of got involved with the Hare
17.
Okay.
Yeah. So then in 99, there was a turn in my Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
A drastic U-turn. And that time, it was like a shock turn. So should I, like,
yeah, go on. I mean, 1999, the end, the turning of the millennium's about to change, and this changes in your life.
Yeah, I was in the youth forum under Ramrup Prabhu, and that time one devotee named Nimai Pandit Das from ISKCON Bangalore came and to Jew temple, and he was like a strong Ritvik, Prabhupada is the guru, and he was like preaching to subtly started preaching because he was told not to preach openly. So he gave me the final order book, and also many he had many conversations with me. So because I was kind of naive, kind of so I went and told the authorities that this person is preaching to me, Ritvik philosophy, and the authorities like, oh my God, and they called Nimai Pandit and they removed him from the temple, and then he had to go. But he had already sown the Prabhupada as the guru in me. And then I thought, okay, let me do research on this more and more. Because I was into research, I was into reading and so many things. So I took up, Prabhupada, I started doing research because that time the internet was just coming and there was not many things available on the internet. So we had to really do a lot of research and everything. So I did my own research, and then I came to know that, yes, Prabhupada had asked, July 9th letter, he said that, you have to have Ritviks and not, and Prabhupada will be the guru for next 10,000 years, and then the Prabhupada's will. And the will was the main thing, which Prabhupada says that all the future members should be my initiated disciples. Prabhupada writes in his will, my initiated disciples. So I was wondering, why will is a legal document, one has to understand. Will is not just any document. Will is a document by the person how the movement is going to, his movement is going to continue in the future. And Prabhupada's will was for this ISKCON temple. When that Prabhupada said that all the future members in the committee, they should be my initiated disciples. So I was wondering how after 200 years any of Prabhupada's initiated disciples will be remaining, because they are all going to die in the next 50 or 100 years. So this will become null and void. This will become null and void, because no one can stay for 10,000 years. Prabhupada has mentioned there that all have to be my initiated disciples. But how, if the current system follows, how will that be possible in ISKCON? Because all Prabhupada disciples are going to die, and then the new breed will come. They will be grand disciples. None of them will be Prabhupada disciples. So this will has null and void. This will has no meaning. How? How could the lawyers who, when Prabhupada was writing the will, did not tell Prabhupada this, that you are making a mistake by putting this thing in this, because after a few hundred years you are not going to be there. Your disciple will not be there. So then I was thinking, okay, maybe because Prabhupada knew, he purposely put this because he wanted the Ritvik system only. Only by Ritvik system can Prabhupada disciples exist for the next 10,000 years. Otherwise, no, the traditional system, they cannot exist only. So that is the reason why I was like, okay, then Prabhupada will is there, then the corresponding document is there, July 9th letter. Then people showed me, but Prabhupada told that, anyone can become Guru. He has written some letters. So I said, okay, when is the letter? 72, this I going 72, 73. I said, okay, wait a second. There's a quote of Prabhupada, where Prabhupada says that, what I say now, you have to do that. That, I just read the quote if you want. Can I read the quote?
Yes, please go ahead, please.
Yeah, just 1 second. It's very, yeah. So this is April 15th, 1975. Very, very important for people who quote, that Prabhupada told someone to become Guru. Prabhupada says here, I may say so many things to you, but when I say something, directly do it. Your first duty is to do that. You cannot argue. Sir, you said me like this before. No, that is not your duty. What I say now, do it. That is obedience. If the captain of the ship says 5-degree starboard, and the first mate replies, but captain, before you told me 10-degree port, then it can be understood that the first mate has gone insane. So what Prabhupada is saying is, what is the current order? Do that. So I was saying, July 9th, 77 is the current, or July 70 or whatever, 72, 73, which is the current. Prabhupada may have told, to encourage disciples. Like, my father tells me so many times, oh, I want you to become the next CEO of my company. That doesn't mean I'll become if I'm not qualified. When the time comes, he'll see I'm not qualified, he'll make my brother or someone else he'll make, He's just saying me to encourage me. So that is what I understood, is that Prabhupada is telling others to become Guru, more of Shiksha Gurus than of Diksha Guru. And even if Prabhupada sometimes told someone to, okay, you can become Diksha, take disciples, he's just encouraging, because the thing which Prabhupada set in gold is the July 9th letter, because that letter is to the temple president and the GBC. It's for the whole movement, because the temple president is the representative of all his temple, the congregation of his temple, and the GBC is the ultimate managing authority of ISKCON. So it's for the whole society. So I had this, that July 9th letter, the Prabhupada will, and then there are many, in ISKCON Inc, California Incorporation, in ISKCON Inc, California Incorporation, Prabhupada puts this clause number 3, where he says that, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness of California. Whatever. He shall be the supreme authority with all respect to all matters of the society, and that status shall not be occupied by or shared by any other individual, either during his lifetime or after death. So he has put that in the incorporation document, that is registered document. So all these things just say that Prabhupada never wanted his position to be taken by anyone. And his position is the Sambon position, Sambon position, that topmost position. And when we see when you go in the Tattva also, Guru Tattva, and when you understand Guru Tattva, Prabhupada, so many places are saying, like, what is Guru Tattva? So what is Guru? So all these documents, which I was gathering all along, so this was really Prabhupada says, Uttam Adhikari, one should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttam Adhikari, topmost platform. Then he says, there is no possibility for a first-class devotee will fall down. And when I saw so many fall downs in ISKCON, I was like, either the philosophy is totally bogus, otherwise, or, they are not authorized. Because if Prabhupada is saying that the first-class devotee can never fall down, so how could, their disciple thought they are first class. That's why they took initiation. And then, what I'm told is out of 150, I think more than 60 gurus have fallen down. So, I mean, you take the whole Vedic civilization of Satyug, Dwapar, Treta Yug, even in that you will not find, so many gurus falling down, What to speak of 50, 60 gurus, So it's like a unique position where what never happened in the thousands and millions of years in the entire Vedic parampara, has just suddenly happened in ISKCON in the last 50 years. Around 60 gurus have just fallen down like 9 pins, And, so I was like, so definitely Prabhupada would not have done that mistake. And then I read that Prabhupada tells about Gaudiya Math, what happened to Gaudiya Math, where he says, my Guru Maharaj told so many things when he was passing, but this thing he missed. He did not appoint any Guru. Why? Because he did not want any Guru to be appointed. He did not want, he appointed a governing body commission, and he told that governing body commission will manage the Gaudiya Math. And same thing Prabhupada did for ISKCON also. Governing body commission, he did not appoint any Guru. Because Prabhupada also told so many, no one can show a letter, that Prabhupada has told him to become a Diksha Guru. That letter doesn't exist. Because we are already in the 2012-11, I had put a challenge to the entire GBC, entire ISKCON, that if you have the letter where you can show me directly that Prabhupada appointed so many so-and-so as a Diksha Guru of ISKCON, I am willing to pay $10 million to anyone. And this challenge is even open now. People will be seeing your broadcast. It's an open challenge. I'll pay $10 million to anyone who can show Prabhupada has written a letter that now you are Diksha Guru next, after me. It doesn't exist. What exists is the July 9 letter where Prabhupada says, they are Ritviks. They'll be initiating on my behalf henceforth. They will be doing it. So this is what exists, The document that Prabhupada authorized to become Guru doesn't exist. And Prabhupada says, one can become Guru when he's authorized by his Guru. Otherwise, no one can become Guru. Clearly says Prabhupada, clearly says that. So all these things were there, and then so many quotes. He must be Mahabhagavat. When one has attained the topmost position of Mahabhagavat, he is to be accepted as Guru and worship exactly as Hari. Only such a person is eligible to occupy the post of Guru. Only such a person is a Mahabhagavat. And a Mahabhagavat, Prabhupada cannot fall down. So a top first-class devotee can never fall down. And only that person can accept the position to be a Guru. He must be a liberated person. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion, because the bound cannot help the bound. The rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. A bona fide spiritual master is in the district subsection from time eternal, and he does not deviate from the instruction, does not deviate at all from the instruction. So like that, then Prabhupada says, a spiritually advanced person who acts with authority as a spiritual master speaks as the Supreme Personal Godhead dictates from within. It is not that he is personally speaking. When the pure devotee or the spiritual master speaks, what he says should be accepted as having been directly spoken by Krishna. You are correct when you say that when the spiritual master speaks, it should be understood that Krishna is speaking. So a spiritual master must be liberated. So all these, Prabhupada, then he should be resident of spiritual world. So now this is very important. Unless one is resident of Krishna Loka, one cannot become a spiritual master. This is the first proposition, Prabhupada says. First qualification, that you have to be the resident of Goloka Vrindavan. So I want to ask everyone who claims to be Diksha Guru, what is your Swarup in Goloka Vrindavan? Are you from Goloka Vrindavan? Can you take your disciple to Goloka Vrindavan? Can you describe what is Goloka Vrindavan? If they can tell all these things, then we can accept, okay, they are from Goloka. For example, if I come from India and you ask me, oh, where are you come from? I should be able to tell, oh, I have come from India. I'm in Jaipur. My residence is in, Moti Dongri Road, like that. Detail I have to give it to you, right? So now if you're coming from, Prabhupada says you should be residents of spiritual world. If you're coming from there, Nitya Siddha devotee here, then you should know what you're doing there and should be able to explain. Then why did, if all these 11 so-called Ritviks became Guru, then why did they go to Gaudiya Math to take Siksha from Sridhar Swami and Narayan Maharaj? Because they were all residents of Golok Vrindavan. They should have known what is, how to progress, what is sadhana bhakti, what is raga bhakti, everything you should have known there. So they're going to take, Siksha from, outside ISKCON, Gaudiya Math and everything, shows that they were not qualified. They did not know. So this quote of Prabhupada, unless one is a resident of Krishna love, one cannot be a spiritual master. It means that you have to be a Nitya Siddha devotee to become a Diksha Guru. Otherwise, you should not become a Diksha Guru. So these are very, very, a layman cannot become spiritual master. If he becomes so, then he will simply create disturbance. This is what is happening in ISKCON for the last 50 years. Only disturbance. Prabhupada books changed. The worship, how to worship the deities, that has been changed. The Guru system has been changed. People have become Guru. They have fallen down. They've ran away with millions of dollars, like Harikesh. Europe, the whole thing in Europe got finished after he left, with so many millions of dollars. Or, Jai Tirtha, was cut off, his disciple cut off his throat. So many things have happened, So they are definitely not residents of the spiritual world. So to summarize the whole thing, it is to be understood that the bona fide spiritual master is the resident of Goloka, of Krishna Loka. So these are, his body is completely spiritual. He's empowered to act. And now people say, oh, but how could Prabhupada start a system that was never happened traditionally? First of all, we don't know, because it is clearly said that only 5% of the scriptures are revealed in the Bhumandala. On this Bhuloka, only 5% of the scriptures are revealed. The 90 or the 95% of scriptures are not there. It's in the Brahma Loka, so we don't know what is the entirety of the scripture. Secondly, now Prabhupada says in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 10.136 purport, the conclusion is that the spiritual master who is authorized and empowered by Krishna and his own Guru should be considered as good as the Supreme Person Godhead himself. This is the wording of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sakshat Dahitvena Samasta Shastre. As Hari is free to act as he likes, the empowered spiritual master is also free. As Hari is not subjected in rules and regulation, the spiritual master empowered by him is also not subjected. So you can't put, oh, Prabhupada did something, that was not there in the Shastra, in the Parampara. Well, Prabhupada did many things that were there. Prabhupada gave Brahman Diksha to women. They were not there, in the Parampara. Okay.
You're still there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still. You froze for a bit, but we could still hear you. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Before 1999, had you taken initiation from anybody in ISKCON?
I never took initiation, luckily. Before 1999, I never initiation.
Okay.
So I never took initiation. I was going to take from Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and then for a short time I stayed in Radhakund for 1 year.
Yeah.
And there I was very close to Mahanidhi Swami. You know Mahanidhi Swami?
Yeah.
A Prabhupada disciple. He's Radhakund. So I was about to take from him also, but every time these quotes of Prabhupada was pulling me back. And then, what really, really pulled back, because Mahanidhi Swami and all these people around Radhakund, he used to glorify Anandas Pandit very much. Anandas Pandit is like one of the biggest Babajis of Radhakund. He had thousands of disciples. So I just went to meet Anandas Pandit one fine day. And I was like, he knew Bengali. He couldn't understand English, neither Hindi. So I was just sitting there. And he was speaking something in Bengali, and the person was translating it into English. So then I asked the person, what about Diksha? Does Babaji give Diksha also? So Babaji, I told in Hindi, so he understood. So he said, August 24th, I will give you Siddha Pranali Diksha. August 24th, I will give you Siddha Pranali Diksha. So I was like, what? Siddha Pranali Diksha. I knew what Siddha Pranali Diksha is. It means they give you, what is your Ekdas Bhav, everything, they give details, that you are so-and-so Gopi and everything. So I was like, I'm meeting you for the first time. You don't know me. I don't know you. You don't know my heart, what is there in my heart. And you're giving me the Siddha Pranali Diksha. And this is what everyone is endorsing in Radhakund. This is the biggest. So I thought that, is what they are talking is not, really not authorized by Srila Prabhupada. So I just left that. And that time I left with Mahani Swami also in association. And then I came back to understand more about what Prabhupada wanted. And I dived in this, So then from 2001 onwards, I was in 2001, I was in Radhakund for 1 year. So then afterwards, I just took this. Okay, now, so my path is this only. I'm not going to get deviated here and there. Because that time, whatever you have to do on your own. There was no internet available. So you have to really, now people can watch and, they can see so many things and can convince in 1 or 2 days. But for us, it was like a long journey, the hard journey, trembling, getting up, what is right, what is wrong, trying to understand all these things, and then using our mind and then understand, okay, now I'll follow this path. So that was the whole this, So yeah. So Prabhupada is clearly saying, when people say that Prabhupada never, how Prabhupada did many things, like he gave Brahman Diksha to women, which was never done in previously in our Sampradaya. No one gave it Gayatri and Brahman Diksha were not given. Then Prabhupada, he carried on the marriage ceremony of his disciples. Prabhupada himself tells, that no sannyasis have done, but I have to do it. What to do? I'm the only one who have to do this. So he did many such things, and time, place, circumstance, you can twin and something, which is required to spread the movement fast, And then Prabhupada gave the example of Christianity. They have one Jesus, and then the priest, they all are preaching on behalf of Jesus. So like that, Christian spread very nicely. He also gave the example of Radha Krishna Mission, where they have one, and all the people are there represented, and it's spreading very nicely. So also then, otherwise there are different groups. Like now, all the gurus, they have their group. Their disciples will only come when their guru comes to the temple. Otherwise, they will not come to the temple. I have practically seen them, and then their disciples have a personal room for their guru in their, or their something like that is going on. And the movement is, they come by reading Prabhupada books, and then they, after getting initiation, their goal becomes something else only. So the movement, the preaching movement that was Prabhupada envisioned, that takes a hit because of this. And when you see when one is on the top, Prabhupada, and everyone's trying to please him and working as per him, then you will see very fast. ISKCON Bangalore is a very nice example of it, where, they accept Srila Prabhupada, and in the last 10 years, it has just spread anything. It has spread. So that is what, a successful model we can replicate all over the world, and that is what ISKCON Inc., which I am associated with, is trying to do, in the Western world.
So tell us a bit about ISKCON Inc. Kind of what is it, and tell us what it is.
Well, ISKCON Inc. was incorporated by Srila Prabhupada in 1966, 13 July 1966 in New York. So, Prabhupada and Prabhupada, someone, one person asked, what is ISKCON Inc.? Is it different from ISKCON? So this is conversation with Prabhupada in Seattle, October 9, 1968, October 9. Prabhupada, therefore, Krishna Consciousness is the best service to humanity, because his all problem will be solved as soon as he goes back to his father. No more problem. So then the young man, asked, I saw a card last night which says the International Krishna Consciousness Inc. INC. A friend of mine asked me, why the word incorporated? Prabhupada, because you want it. The young man, pardon? Because, Prabhupada, because you want it incorporated. Your state wants it. Your state means you. Young man, the Washington state government? Yes, Prabhupada, yes. The government wants it. You cannot be revolting against the government. Prabhupada started laughing. You have to live keeping pace with the government. We are in Krishna consciousness. That does not mean we shall not use this electricity. We shall not take an apartment, or we shall not sleep. Sometimes some things unnatural we have to do. Why? Everyone abides by the law. We have to abide by the law. This is a difficulty. The government provides that religious society or this society, they should get themselves incorporated. So this is it. So that is it is recognized. And so this is what Prabhupada is saying. So that is why he used the word INC, incorporated. So it was obviously, ISKCON was handling everything. So by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, few decades back, the Nimai became the president of ISKCON Inc. And that time he declared independence from the separate from ISKCON, the GBC ISKCON, and he and that he said that okay, now we'll follow the Ritvik system.
Which year was this?
Yeah.
So which year was ISKCON Inc. declared independent from ISKCON?
2004.
2004. Okay, by one of the by one of the people involved. Did you say Nimai Prabhu? Someone called Nimai?
He's the president of ISKCON Inc. The president of ISKCON Inc. So he declared it independent from from the GBC.
Okay.
And then the GBC, when they came to know, they declared a court case on us, and that court case is going on, and hopefully very soon the GBC has given up on the court case. So very soon, we'll be able to win the case, and ISKCON Inc. will be recognized as a independent. And the best part is ISKCON name is the trademark is with ISKCON Inc. The ISKCON trademark in America, ISKCON trademark is with ISKCON Inc. So we had the trademark also. And then Prabhupada, obviously, Prabhupada maybe had seen this, long vision. Prabhupada had this, where this was going to happen. And then the ISKCON Inc. falls into the lap of, his disciples who consider him as his guru. So that's what, so right now we are trying to, this podcast, with this, we'll also like to invite all the people, Prabhupada around the world who are seeing that we are forming ISKCON constitution. Prabhupada told, to form an, I just read some things about, just 1 second.
No worries, no hurry. And then I have a question for you.
yeah, sure.
So, I mean, my question is, so ISKCON Inc. was declared independent. It declared its independence from ISKCON in 2004. Srila Prabhupada set up ISKCON Inc. in July 1966.
Yeah.
So at what point in history did ISKCON, as in the GBC run ISKCON, which is with its headquarters in Mayapur, when did that organization stop using the term Inc?
It was only used in America. Outside America, it was not used Inc.
So ISKCON in the UK, and actually, I might look this up after this recording. ISKCON in the UK is not registered as ISKCON Inc.
I think so. Maybe someone can do this research.
But when Srila Prabhupada set it up in 1966, it was registered as ISKCON Inc.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, all the devotees can do their research. Is any temple currently with GBC ISKCON under ISKCON? Because what I know in America, most of the temples are under private trust now.
Well, I can tell you what I do know without looking it up is in the UK, so we have Companies House, which is where businesses are registered, and we have the Charity Commission, which is where charities are registered. And often, if you're big charities are registered with both. I do know that ISKCON in the UK on the Charity Commission registered is registered as ISKCON UK Limited. So it doesn't say Inc. It doesn't say Inc.
And Prabhupada was against the word limited, to use the word limited. There's one conversation I'll send you, I don't have right now, where someone was saying, okay, ISKCON Limited. Prabhupada said, no, ISKCON Limited. So there's a conversation I can send you later. No, I don't have right now the paper with me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on. You were going to share something, and then I kind of asked this question about Inc. So we got to 2004, and then you were going to share something after, I think.
So yeah, right now we what we are working on three things we are working on. First is the most important thing Prabhupada told many times to his disciple, to that time, to form ISKCON constitution. Because people come like you come to ISKCON, and nowadays you don't know what to sing, what to do, what are your rights, what are your duties. There's nothing documented. So suppose I chant Radhe Sham, 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 Radhe Radhe. People are singing that also, or any other bhajans I sing. No, but do we know what are the authorized bhajans that has to be sung by Srila Prabhupada? So or or in other thing, the rights of a devotee, what are his rights, or the right or the duties of a devotee, or the rights of a GBC, because GBC right now is governing as the ultimate authority of ISKCON. But Prabhupada said the GBC is ultimate managing authority, not the ultimate authority. So where are these, document, a constitution is, which gives you the right, the duties, the legalities, everything. It is, put in one place, one document. And we don't have in ISKCON such a document. So in ISKCON, everyone can do anything. In ISKCON, every 50 years, a process can change. It started by zonal acharya system. Then it went on to, it was Prabhupada said Ritvik. Then they turned into zonal acharya. Then after that, like they all became gurus. Everyone can become guru. And then they made, okay, gurus can be madhyam adhikaris also. So a constitution is, okay, now this is a framework Prabhupada has given us. This is how the society has to be run. So right now, ISKCON Inc. is in the process of forming this constitution of ISKCON, and we invite all the heads, who want to, like the Brahminical, people who can help us into forming this, this constitution, which Prabhupada said so many times. He's saying to form the ad hoc committee so that which can draft the constitution. And Prabhupada gave the direction of management. That is the the outline or the basis of that constitution. And now Prabhupada told after that to expand on direction management and to add, like I'll just tell you, what can come in the constitution.
I've just, while you were talking, I looked up the company's house register in the UK, which is all the businesses, and ISKCON is registered in the UK as International Society for Krishna Consciousness Limited. So,
yeah,
so there's no ink.
So see the constitution, the outline, or the, what you can say, how it can be formed is like, the preamble will be there, the preamble, and then there will be contents like, ISKCON, the purpose of a constitution, why the constitution as legal determined, then, the definition of members, the autonomy of members, the society law book, the governing body commission, the decentralization, the management institution, all these different things, the Sanatan Dharma, Yuga Dharma, what is Diksha Guru, what is Siksha Guru, what is the Chaitya Guru, what is book Bhagavad, then what is the Vartama Pradaksha Guru, association of devotees, how much important it is, is Vani important or Vapu important, how devotees to deal with other organizations. All these things are well defined. How to do Harinam Sankirtan, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the book distribution, the DT worship process, the food offering process, the sadhana, the Vaishnav decorum, everything is defined in a book, law book, like a law book, where people can just read it and then know, okay, now, the president can be removed by the members. They can vote and they can remove the president every 3 years, but it doesn't happen here. No ISKCON temple that does that. They're scared, that if they're removed, then what will they do? So, so there's no election. So Prabhupada told in direction management, every 3 years there should be election. And they should elect the.
Yeah, I've thought of this a lot before. Certainly ISKCON in the UK, the management are selected, not elected. And it's a massive organization with an income of £12 million a year. And it needs to be much more democratic. The members need to be included much more, and it's certainly ISKCON in the UK.
Yeah, so like, who can be called a devotee, who can be called a congregation, everything is defined. Who can start a Namahatta, who can start a small center, who can start a big temple, all these things are well defined and obviously democratic, because direction management was democratic only. Prabhupada wanted that to be set, but never happened after Prabhupada left. And Prabhupada told to expand on this direction of management, to have a constitution. And that is what we are going to start very soon. So we are going to have a committee, ISKCON Constitutional Committee. And then we'll have, that committee will draft a constitution, and then we'll put it in public domain. And then we'll invite all the devotees' suggestions. what they think that, can fit into that category. Varnashram, what can it fit into the category of Varnashram? Or, any, like preaching Krishna consciousness to Westerners, what can fit there? All from Prabhupada teachings, what can fit there? So that is what we are going to put. So I'll like to invite all the devotees worldwide to join, and help in drafting this constitution. Prabhupada says to work, the Varnashram setting and this constitution that Prabhupada couldn't do when he was present has to be done by future generations. So this is very important seva, and the second is we are also started affiliations with ISKCON Inc. So we have some centers here and there. We are affiliated with ISKCON Inc. where they can join the like umbrella movement, and they can be decentralized. They have their own branch where they are doing their things, and like a umbrella on that top is ISKCON Inc. So like that, the whole world, Prabhupada said you can open as many temples as possible like that, keeping the Acharya in the center. So that also we are going to start. So these two things are, where the devotees from all over the world can take part, active part, and start. So if you can someone can write to us on ISKCON Inc. or whatever. ISKCON@gmail.com. So you can just put the email also.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone listening or watching this who wants to get involved with ISKCON Inc., please do get in touch directly with Gauranga Sundar Prabhu. I will make sure that your contact details and the link to your Facebook page, your website are all available with this podcast, so people can help grow the ISKCON Inc. movement.
Yeah, because see, we are only distributing Srila Prabhupada's original books. We don't distribute edited books. So that is and we accept Srila Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru, as the most preeminent Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru we accept. So all like-minded Prabhupada Nugas, they can come, because Prabhupada is writing again and again, your love for me will be seen how well you cooperate with each other. So Prabhupada requires this cooperation. Alone we are doing so many centers are there, but to have a massive impact, that is what Prabhupada wanted. He came to the West, to have an impact, just not to open one center, two center. He came to open a worldwide organization. And when you have an organization, then you can spread association. It is said in Bhakti, in teachings of Lord Chaitanya and Chaitanya Charitamrita, that in the Sangha, Bhakti Sangha, your weeds which are developing in your heart, the weed of Nam, name, fame, and they can be weeded out in the association of devotees. So if you're not in a devotee association, alone center, you have your few students under you, they consider you as your guru, subtly that Siksha Guru, it enters you and you get that name and fame weed of becoming a Diksha Guru also. You don't tell it openly, but you start behaving like a Diksha Guru, even though you're not. So that weed which enters in your heart, in the Sangha of society can be very easily removed, because others can see the GBC over it, or, oh, you are developing this weed. This weed will make you again commit those mistakes already done by ISKCON. So that is to protect our bhakti, we require a larger Sangha. No, independently we can do small things, we can do everywhere. But how will protect our bhakti then? Because we are the only authority there, to look, and there's no one, look like a GBC or Prabhupada he set a GBC to, help people in this only, or a 10 president to help people in this. But there's nothing over it, then you may just go astray after some time. Or you may, like I see so many people, they tell that they are Prabhupada Nugas, they follow Prabhupada as, as Diksha Guru, and then they have their own ashram. When their ashram little grows, then, they forget about the elections every 3 years, then they become their, only authority there, and they subtly start acting as, like Prabhupada only. So to keep us away from that weed, Sangha, association, organization is very much required. And that is what ISKCON Inc. is trying to set up all over the world. So when we have this, and obviously, ISKCON Inc. also has many things going on in America, where we are doing our organic farming and, Ayurvedic business, and, we have many farms there now. So that is going on. We have our basically is to set up Varnashram. Prabhupada wanted the Varnashram system to be set up, because, in the temple, there's only Brahmachari and Brahmana and Sannyasi have, involvement. A congregation like, outside people like you, if a person like you comes who doesn't want, who can't be a Brahmachari, who can't be a, in the temple, what do you do? Then you have to do something outside the world. and you have to get involved with the karmis outside. And then in the karmis, you have a time to fall down. So Varnashram Prabhupada said is, where the grastas, the vanaprasthas, the sannyasi, the brahmacharis, the gurukulis, and everyone are there, and they are just exchanging with each other. A grasta can do some farming and grow crops for the temple or for the devotees, community, or the Kshatriyas are there to protect that. The Brahmanas are there to guide the society, if it's going away from Prabhupada's teachings. So like that, the whole system is set, which Prabhupada wanted. And Prabhupada told that, once we have Varnashram set, then, I can tell you that millions will come to us, because everyone is looking for a peaceful existence. So Varnashram is simple living, higher thinking, very peaceful existence. So people with this war and everything going on right now, and if it spreads, this war, which is going to spread ultimately, the Russia and the Ukraine war, as if China gets involved somehow in Taiwan, then it's going to go everywhere. This war is going to happen everywhere. So with that, the cities are going to be bombarded first. So where are you to go? You only have the farm communities, because the farmers they don't bombard the farmers, because they also need the crops to living, so they don't do that. So they are very safe. So these farm communities, if we have these real farm communities, those the Varnashram communities actually, not just the farm communities, but the Varnashram, where from a child to the old age, everyone can be engaged. From a child also has a Gurukul, then there's a Varnashram college where his skills are harnessed more, so that he can become an astrologer, or he can become a jeweler, or he can, if you want to go into business, or he can become a organic farmer, or he can be, many things are there he can do, that are skills are given in the Varnashram college, and then he chooses, he can do any, and then he can serve the community with that skill, and the community can pay him, back. And in a society only, everything is self-sufficient. That's what Prabhupada wanted, a self-sufficient society where they don't have to depend on anyone outside. They're growing their fruits, they're having their milk there, they're having their devotees congregation there, they're earning there, they're very satisfied. This kind of community we are planning to develop in America and also in Vrindavan. ISKCON Inc, just like I told, I'm also the president of Krishna Consciousness Society in India. So we are trying to acquire a land in Vrindavan to serve all the Prabhupada Anugas. Our basic is, because Prabhupada Anugas around the world, when they come to Vrindavan, they have to stay outside. ISKCON Bangalore is there, but it is very expensive, and many times it is full. So we want to facilitate all the Prabhupada Anugas. They can come to Vrindavan and stay at our. We are going to start with a 4-acre project, and we are going to expand to 100-acre project, where we have the Varnashram community also there later, where all the devotees can actually stay there permanently. Westerners, everyone who wants to come, and like that, we can develop a whole community in Vrindavan itself. This project is there. So this is the, it is there on the website, the project. So if anyone want to help in this project also, they can help us in this project. Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about some of the stuff happening in the United States? You did kind of allude to a court case, and do you feel comfortable talking a bit more about that in terms of what's happening with ISKCON Inc. and ISKCON?
Well, the ISKCON, what I have, because I've been privy to the cases, ISKCON has really given up. Because the court asked them, do you have a constitution ready? We don't have a constitution. So they couldn't establish the legality of GBC. The court asked, what is the legality of GBC? They couldn't establish that legality. So they already given up on that case, So and ISKCON Inc. we are able to establish that it's a separate organization right now. We have independence, and we are working according to the direction of management, and we have we are going. That's why we are framing this constitution and everything, where we can have okay, we are ready with everything. So that is required. So that is so very. I think in the next 2 to 3 months, the final judgment will come, and we are 100,000%, you can say 100%, confident that we are winning this case.
So is it a case that ISKCON, as in GBC ISKCON, is trying to sue ISKCON Inc?
Yeah, no, they're trying to take back ISKCON Inc. from ISKCON.
They want to stop you from using the term ISKCON or ISKCON Inc.
ISKCON Inc.
Yeah,
they want. And they want to take away the the temple also, and also the ISKCON Inc. as a whole, because ISKCON Inc. has the name ISKCON in America. The trademark of ISKCON is with ISKCON Inc. in America. So they want to get back that, because it has many ramifications in the in the future, which I right now don't want to tell it. I can't speak of those things.
Yeah.
But if offline, we can I can tell you about what are the bigger ramifications, why they are so much concerned about this ISKCON Inc. Because ISKCON Inc. is really a gold mine. It's bigger than the gold mine, because it has so many such power, that that's why the whole ISKCON movement, GBCs wanted to win this case. But Prabhupada's mercy is that we are really able to convince the I will not go much, I don't want, because it's in the legal domain.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't speak much about it, about that, because it's in the court right now. But I can tell you, we are very, very confident that we are winning.
Well, keep me updated keep us all updated on how that goes. Can we talk a bit about some of your online preaching, because you're very successful online preaching, and there's a few magazines that you want me to show.
Yeah, please, can you show?
Let me just
also,
let me just prepare. Do you want to which one do you want to show first? The Goloka?
The Goloka Times, the normal one you can show, and then the comic. So what what our idea is, that we have these in English. Now each devotees, in their language, if they can translate this, then we can spread this online in all the languages.
Yeah, you can see this now. You can see the Okay, so I can.
It's a flip magazine, just flips.
It's very professionally done. This is so. Let's just go back to the beginning so everyone can see. This is your. Oh my goodness, my mouse has gone bizarre. So Goloka Times is your from darkness to Godhead. I love that. So this is the ISKCON Inc. store magazine. It feels like I'm reading a newspaper because of the noises.
Yeah.
And is this a monthly publication?
Yeah, monthly publication.
Wow. And you do this on your own or with others?
I have a whole team. We have a whole IT, team of professionals who are doing it. And devotees, I made them into devotees. Now they are working volunteers without, money, anything. Just working for Prabhupada.
So I love the professionalism of this magazine.
That's why I'm saying it's like a kind of international magazine, like Back to Godhead,
Yeah. Prabhupada, wonderful. So this is monthly. It's emailed out to people digitally. Do you produce paper editions as well?
Right now, no, because once we have more people, more than 10,000, 20,000 people, then we can do offline also. Right now, we are just around 1,000, 1,500 people are subscribed to it.
Yeah.
So we want that more and more people come, and we are open to then we will send. This is the outline, and then all these things can be translated into their local language, and we can have a French Goloka Times or a German Goloka Times or a Spanish Goloka Times, like the Russian Goloka Times or a Chinese Goloka Times, like that, different local languages. We can do that. So
and I'm just going to show the other magazine as well, because there's another one.
If anyone wants to collaborate for this, we are open for this also. And if someone wants to give their seva or write articles, we are inviting devotees to come and write articles on this. This is for the kids.
Okay, so this is a children's magazine. Wow. You got comics.
We have prepared all these in-house. Our devotees have made all these images, like designed everything. So everything is ISKCON Inc. Copyrighted. Yeah. So nothing from outside. So our one devotee, 2 devotees are there who work on all these things.
Wow, I love the artwork. It's very colorful. And so this is emailed out to younger people.
Yeah, to the parents of the children who have children, parents can subscribe for their children, and then they can teach their children from these, magazines about different Bhagavatam. We are taking Bhagavatam. First, we are taking Krishna book, and then the Bhagavatam stories also. Slowly we'll take.
This one's maybe this is a big quality. This is taking a while. Okay, it's because it's Lord Nrsingadev. There's a lot of high resolution.
Yeah, it takes time to come, like.
Yeah, look at those fingernails. Wow.
Yeah.
ISKCON, this is your project there.
Yeah, this is the project we are talking of.
Wow. Well, I love them. I think they're great. I think you've done it so professionally. And it just feels like I'm opening a proper magazine,
Yeah.
Okay, so and you do a lot of online preaching. Tell me about some of the
Yeah.
statistics and numbers that you're achieving at the moment.
Now, how I got into, like, I'll just give you a background of it. So in 2012-13, after we affiliated actually many temples with ISKCON, then I kind of, I wanted to focus on, because that time internet was booming very much. Twitter and Facebook were booming very much. So I wanted to see how can one do this, So in India, I joined the political party, social media team, BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP social media team, I joined that to learn the art of, digital preaching and everything, because they are very professionals. So from 2014 to 2017, I learned the tricks, how to expand on social media from them. And then in 2017, I started Twitter, ISKCON Inc on Twitter, Instagram, or in 2018, like that I started. And right now, per month, Twitter, we are getting 10 million reach on Twitter, 10 million reach per month. On Instagram, we have around 4 lakh followers now. On Twitter, we have 2 lakh followers. And we are getting 2 million reach, Instagram every week, 2 million reach, around that much. Then on Facebook also, more than 2 million reach we are getting on our page. And all our pages are verified. If you see, you'll see the blue tick on our pages. So that is what I started in 2017 with. I alone started. Then, people started coming, seeing the page, nicely. They're coming and they wanted to volunteer. So I started giving lectures also. So when I give lectures on Instagram, 30,000 people attend my lecture on Instagram. 30,000 people. They watched live on Instagram. On Twitter, we have a program. There are around 2,000 to 5,000 people. They attend there on Twitter. On Facebook, we had our summer camp right now. More than 1 lakh people attended the summer camp on Facebook Live. So this is kind of, our preaching on the social media, which is much, much far of ISKCON GBC or even ISKCON Bangalore. The reach which we have is much, much massive. There's a platform called Trail. We have 5 million followers on that.
Trail. That's another social media platform, is it?
Yeah, in India, 5 million followers. Then there's one of the, like the TikTok. India TikTok is, the Josh is India TikTok. Yeah. So we have around 1 million followers on that. So their Prabhupada's lectures, they reach around 3 million, 4 million views. Wow. So this is kind of, reach Prabhupada lectures are having. And from that only I get volunteers. So in the last, I started online preaching during the COVID, because people all were in the house and they wanted something online. So I took that, and started preaching online. So now we have more than 125 dedicated, you can say full-time brahmacharis or brahmacharinis with under me getting trained. 125 plus around 200, 300, 400 volunteers are there who are working, getting trained to become coordinate. We call them coordinators, this 125, we call them coordinators. So they're getting trained to become coordinators. Like, they're like completely involved in ISKCON Inc. activities from morning. They get up around, morning. And yeah, one more thing, we have this whole digital thing on morning. So we have Mangal Aarti in the morning, then we have Japa, 2 hours Japa morning. Then we have, online. Then we have Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita classes online. So all the people from morning till the night, they are just Krishna conscious only. I have different sevas. So then we have poster making seva, we have video making seva. Then we have, magazine seva is there. Then we have, we also started BhaktiVedanta Institute of Vedic Science, like the BI of Prabhupada, we started. So in that, there are 3 scientists working under me. So they're trying to present Krishna consciousness in a scientific way. So right now what we are doing is the modes of nature, how the food impacts our consciousness. That research is going on right now. And very soon we are going to come out with a scientific paper, how sattvic food and, prasadam has impact on our consciousness, and how tamasic and rajasic food, has negative impact, and takes you away from. So that scientific paper, we are working on that. Plus we are also working on archaeology, trying to, get different archaeological proofs around the world about human antiquity going back to millions of years. Right now, they say only 1 lakh years is human existed. 25,000, 30,000 are like us, and before that also like maximum 1 lakh years. But we are trying to collect archaeological evidence. Our group is trying to collect, which will prove human existence millions and billions of years back. So we are working on that project also. This whole group is working on that project. So we have like different groups. We have Instagram group where people work on the content for Instagram. We have Twitter group where they work for the content on Twitter. Then we have Facebook group that we work on the content on Facebook. Like that, different groups we have made, and all the volunteers are involved. So if anyone wants to get involved with this, they can join us, and help us.
How do you personally find the time to manage or oversee all of this?
Prabhu, I'm leading a varnashram life. So I taken sannyas from earning and everything in 2012, 13 only. After that, only preaching, nothing else. I just from morning to night, I'm just motivating my students, the people who are under me, coordinators and everyone, to become more and more dedicated to do more like that they are doing. So we have many projects. Like I'm training all these 100 coordinators to become 100 presidents of their various centers. So that is a long time project. In 10, 15, 20 years, we may have 110 centers in India itself, with all these coordinators as their president in that center, running their own independent centers. So like that, it's my like long-term vision.
And you're receiving, ISKCON Inc. is receiving a lot of funding and financial support as well.
Right now, we are not receiving that is the only thing. The fund is the only thing. Our coordinators are, getting the fund. Whoever the coordinators, they donate, among them only. We are collecting. Outside world, we are not getting much, because we have not tried also, and people don't know about outside, about ISKCON. And once we start collecting outside, then the ISKCON will come, So before the case, we don't want to do that also. When the result comes out, judgment, then we can, do it, online collecting the funds. Before that, we are just doing in our coordinators, they help us. So if some of your people who want to help, they can go on our website, is there. They can donate on the project, and all those things they can be done there. Yeah.
So if anyone watching or listening would like to get involved with ISKCON Inc., it sounds like there's lots of opportunities. There's lots of things you can help with, lots of savor. And I'm really quite encouraged by Gauranga Prabhu's enthusiasm. I can feel his enthusiasm, even though he's thousands of miles away. I think that I've got another kind of question that we kind of just I put to you via email was, what do you think we can do to encourage more people to take up Krishna consciousness? How can we attract people to this philosophy, this movement?
That is what we work. We also have a statistic team, analyzing team. So there's a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Manushram Sahastresu, in Bhaunam Janmanante Kyanva Mam Prapadante. So these things is like, we calculated it. We made them into numbers. And we came to the number that 7 million people around the world are ready to accept spiritual philosophy. 7 million people. Out of which 1 million are ready to take up Krishna consciousness. Like the shloka is there, Jnani, Jigyasu, one who is in need of money, one who is distressed, from Krishna says, and one who is for knowledge, those kind of people come to Krishna. The 4 kinds of people come to Krishna. So we are targeting who is Jigyasu, inquisitive, and who is Jnani, and who is in distress. These 3 people we are targeting, on the social media. So when we target these 3 people, they already want to know something about Krishna, or they are so much depressed that they want to come out of their depression. So they want something that will take them out from the depression. So we introduce the holy name there. We introduce Sattvic life there. We counsel them in that way, where we tell them to attend our programs, kirtans and everything, so that they can feel the happiness within and they can come out of the depression. So those kind of people are there. Then the inquisitive who comes to us with questions. Oh, what is God? Or people who are generally searching on the web. Who is God? What is God? Where does God live? How can we develop, relation with God? Who are we? Why are we suffering? What is reincarnation? What is karma? All these topics they are searching. So we are developing a website for these people where we are going to give them the solution to their questions by Srila Prabhupada himself. He'll give the solution, So those people can, and we'll try to get that website on the top of Google Click. So people who are searching the question, they can see and they can come and get their solutions there, and then they can be engaged. Because I always say, Sadhu Sang, Seva, and Sadhana. These are the three rails, the tracks on which the train goes, spiritual train. So anything lacking, is your spiritual train will not be so good. So seva is very important. Tad vidhi pranipatena pripasnena sevaya, Krishna says. You have to do seva. So do some practical seva, online seva. That's why we started this online seva. Then sadhana, we do this sadhana together, and help people do better sadhana and come out of their distress, everything. And sadhu sang, give them devotee association, so that they can empty mind devil's workshop, so that they can get, they can have some space in the Krishna conscious world and be engaged there with sadhu sangha. And this is how we are trying to get the people. So we have these posters which we put, just 2 days back, we invited around, we put a poster of ISKCON Inc. Youth Forum Mail. Around 250, 300 people applied, wanted to volunteer, wanted to join, wanted to learn the philosophy. On Instagram, we put. And before that, we put ISKCON Inc. Youth Forum Female. In that, 200 people, women, Matajis, young. It is like, 20 to 35 age. 250 of them applied. And in the Prabhuji's, 200 of them applied. So we already got these 450 people right now. So now we have to use them, means, give them some work, some seva, so they can be engaged in that seva, some things they can do, and answer their questions, their difficulties, their personal counseling, and philosophically we have to train them. So out of these 450, I am 100% sure that 10% is our ratio. 10%. We know that 40 people are going to become ready for Krishna consciousness from this 450 people. So that is the target. We are going to see that out of these 450, who are the most, inquisitive, who wants to learn the most and all, then we are going to focus on them. And we are going to take that lot and make them into our coordinators for the next, next 5 months. We'll focus on that. And in the next 6 months, these 40 people will be ready to join us at coordinators. Like that, we are expanding. And this is how you can do the youths also, that see what they want. Because everyone is looking for something, because there's so much, especially in the COVID times, so many problems are there. People have, mind issues, and depression, and they are so much scared. So much scared, what will happen. The vaccines are creating anxiety in them, and they want someone to give them happiness. They want happiness, someone. So if we can provide that happiness to them, we can provide that helping hand to them, we can provide that counseling to them, then, they become, they are very happy. And, they are ready to do anything for us. So that's why I don't pay any of my coordinators any money. I don't have what to pay. But you don't believe, Prabhu, they are more dedicated than the full-time devotees of ISKCON, because they get up morning without asking me anything, without doing that. They are just like our store, ISKCON Inc. store. I don't even look after what's happening. One of our devotees called Subhal Das, so much fired up. From morning to night, he's just trying to, expand how to sell Prabhupada books to the store, how to spread, he's trying to get more and more people, So they are so dedicated people, like our scientists, on their own, they are now, Paramatma is guiding them, Prabhupada is guiding them, and they're doing more and more and more, because sadhana is very good. So all these people are so much dedicated that they want to do something great before they die for Prabhupada. That is their life's mission, that we want to do something great for Prabhupada before we die. So that if you have such a team who want to do such, who are so much dedicated and want to do, then you can do multiple things. That's why I'm able to do multiple things. People ask me, oh, you're doing so many projects. How are you able to? Because I have a team which is doing it. I'm just talking to you, but my team behind right now is working on so many things right now. Someone is making the posters, someone is making the content, someone is making the videos, someone is doing some research work. All these things are going on in the background, And when I go after 2 hours to them, and they'll say, oh, we did so many things, So it's like such a wonderful team, which I have. And when you have such team, you can do so many things. Obviously, I inspire them, I give them confidence. I don't, normally people, they try to interfere too much. I don't interfere with my team. I know that, Paramatma is there in their heart. Prabhupada is there to guide them. If they are sincere, Prabhupada will guide them, So I give them the liberty, that independence to do what they want to do and to excel. And I ask them, what are your, thoughts, and how you think that we can do better? because I have a limited mind. Someone may have a better mind than me. My student may have a better understanding or better mind than me, or a better way to do a better thing than me. So I am open to such thoughts every time. And if someone gives me, okay, Prabhu, we can do this. Yes, okay, do it. I'm not like, okay, wait and trying to control them. If you control them, then they go away. If you give them all the liberty, all the love, all the care, then they will give the results also. Amazing result they will give. And that is what I do. And this is
Wow.
what we should target such people who are inquisitive, who are after knowledge. Target those people and try to work with those people, and we'll see very fast. We can multiply like that. Problem is we are trying to target everyone, and we lose the focus on the individual who can really has the fire, the spark in him, and we forget to fan that spark. So we have to see where the spark is in the person, how better he can be molded into Krishna consciousness, and try to work with that person. And when we do that, we have a better result with that.
Well, I find you very inspiring, and I'm really encouraged by all the work that ISKCON Inc. is doing. It sounds like you've got I see a kind of big spider web, or a big kind of diagram where all these kind of arms and branches are reaching out, and you're doing so many things.
Yeah.
And you're coordinating from the center. You've taken shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's inspiring you, and you're just putting out that energy to hundreds of other people. It's really encouraging, yeah, I mean, it's wonderful, and it's been great to have you on the podcast for you to share your story.
I mean, Prabhu, you will not believe, like online, and these are not ISKCON people who are buying. New people, are buying more than thousands of Bhagavad Gitas and other books online from our store. New people, we are because my focus is that ISKCON has around 1.5 million devotees maybe worldwide, or 1 million devotees worldwide, but there are 8 billion people around the world. So if who are waiting for this, so my focus and my target is on those people.
Well, that's also my philosophy. That's my approach as well. I mean,
how to reach, because if you just reach devotees, then you get caught up in the devotees only, and then and there is fights and this and getting all the groups together. Better to focus on the new, and because there's so much people lying there, they want the knowledge, and in our groupism, in our fight within the group, we waste the time which we can preach to those people.
I agree.
My total focus is on new people. And and when the new people come, they come with new energy, new blood, new intelligence, so many, and then just fan their enthusiasm. And then when you fan it, and it comes, something brilliant comes out.
I mean, there are billions of people. I mean, in the UK, there's around, I think, around the number of people in the UK practicing Krishna consciousness is about 0.002% of the population. It's very small. So there's no point arguing with each other. Let's just focus on the millions of people in the UK that have never heard of Krishna, never heard of Krishna consciousness. I mean, I can't be bothered to waste my time arguing with people these days. And we've got lots of mats and lots of sanghas in the UK, and that's great. Let's just preach to your local community and share with people the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Let's just not argue with each other. That's my approach as well.
And that is the best approach, because that will give you the results. Because everyone is Krishna's part and parcel. So those people also who are not involved in Krishna consciousness, they are also Krishna's part and parcel. Krishna is there in their heart also. So if you just have to reach them, and you have to just make connect with them. And once you connect with them somehow, then they will start following. So that's what we are in the pipeline, and the next is because Prabhupada's mission is Paschatya Desa Tarine. We say Prabhupada came to deliver the Western world. So India, I'm doing it. Now it's set. Now I want to focus to Western preaching. So target those people, inquisitive people, those people who want knowledge in the West, America, Europe, those kind of people. So we are making a website, ISKCON Inc. Edu website, which our app is there. We're making a website also, especially targeted to the Western people, where the Western people, will they'll get the solution of their problems. We'll try to target them, how to reach them and try to get them on board to come to our Sangha and start joining our lectures or having a conversation with us, trying to understand philosophy, life and karmas and, vegetarian and all those things, slowly trying to, implant bhakti seed in their, in their heart. So this is what, it's my next, I'm going to very soon start doing that also.
And it sounds like, particularly in the United States, you've got a lot of supporters and followers already. There's quite a few devotees there already involved with ISKCON Inc.
Yeah, ISKCON. Yeah, the Long Island Temple has a good congregation going. The New York Temple, and plus we have quite a few farms now. So very soon we'll have more farms than the entire ISKCON together. So many farms we'll have. So by Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy. So that is my community handling that everything there. So working.
Jai.
Well, mercy of all the Vaishnavas, so that
yeah. Well, I'm really encouraged, and I'm going to keep an eye on what you're doing on social media, and over the next 6 to 12 months and year and 2 years to see how much ISKCON Inc. is growing. And I will be keeping an ear out and an eye out for that kind of legal issue as well, to see what happens.
I'm going to update you, for that.
Well, we're friends now on social media. We've got each other's WhatsApp numbers, so we can keep in touch.
So because many things I can't tell you in this broadcast, that are off the record,
There's a lot of things that people don't share on this broadcast, but they share with me privately. Since I started this podcast 2 years ago, I've had so many devotees from around the world contact me, asking me for help, asking me for advice. And I'm not a counselor in that way, in that sense. I'm not a trained therapist or anything. And I get so many devotees getting in touch because I think they just want someone to talk to. And unfortunately, a lot of those reasons are bad reasons. People, abuse they might be receiving or difficulties they're having with management, and it's quite sad. But I'm keen to, like you, I'm keen to encourage people in their Krishna consciousness. I love this philosophy, and I know how much it's changed my life, and I want other people to feel that same enthusiasm and devotion, I guess. Yeah.
That's what that is what is a Vaishnava's attitude also. He's like para dukha dukhi. He sees he wants to see everyone happy, no one unhappy, and he goes out of his way to make people happy and make people give Krishna consciousness to everyone. That is what is a Vaishnava's consciousness also. And you are doing it perfectly, even through your broadcast also. I'm sure many people are going to get inspired by a podcast and all these things. And that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter. The person who is very dear to me is that person who takes this philosophy to all the world, all the other people. So that is what actually I call, like BhaktiVedanta call the books the Brihad Midanga. I call the internet now the Brihad Midanga, because talking to, we can reach so many people, so many people worldwide we can reach. Like I know when our post, on Instagram, they have around 35,000 likes. Single post has 35,000 likes, 30,000 likes, 20,000 likes, like that, and 1 million views, 2 million views. So just one click button, we post it, sitting in Jaipur, I'm posting it, and it's going to millions of people all over the world. And they are seeing it, getting impacted by it. Something is going in their mind, in their brain, in their consciousness. So they may not take up to Krishna consciousness, at the same, at that moment, but in the future, the seed is getting sown in their heart. And eventually Prabhupada told once, even if someone touches my book, his Krishna consciousness has started, So this is like touching people, through different ways. So this is the Brihad Midanga, the internet. The internet revolution is the, biggest thing that has happened for devotees, actually, I feel, Devotees can go out.
I mean, before the pandemic, I hadn't even heard of Zoom. I'd never even heard of it. And now I use Zoom on a regular basis, particularly to record this podcast.
Yeah. So I think the pandemic has done something good for the devotees. At least they have
Yes.
come more online, and they're able to teach people.
I did so much reading during the lockdowns and so much of my own research into Krishna consciousness. It was a very useful time. We've been recording for some time. You and I can have a brief chat after, but I really appreciate you coming on as the guest on this week's podcast of the Hare Krishnas in Britain. It's been great to hear your story and to hear the story, the ongoing story of ISKCON Inc. as well. And what you've told me, I just didn't know. I'd never thought about the registration of different names in different countries and what they mean legally. I never thought of that, and now I have thought about it because you've told me about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and maybe the revival of ISKCON as Prabhupada wanted. I am very much hopeful that we'll do it through ISKCON Inc. What Prabhupada wanted, the because the kind of things that have happened in our movement in the last 50 years, I mean, if we keep it inside our movement, that's why people don't know. Otherwise, people will be, the outside people will be shocked, the kind of fall downs and the kind of child abuse and the kind of book changes and everything that is going on. Really, really depressing, very much.
yeah, it's hugely depressing actually.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody watching at home, and you and I can have that very quick chat after. So a big thank you to Gauranga Sundar Prabhu for coming on as the guest on this week's edition of the Hare Krishnas in Britain podcast. He was guest number 64.
Yeah. And yeah, Narad, I just told you before the podcast started, it's on the podcast, right? So I want to say that, that Narad Muni was the broadcast IB Minister of Vishnu, broadcasting Minister of Vishnu, and I hope, Narad Das becomes the podcasting minister of our Krishna conscious movement, so that you can podcast it.
Well, ironically, in the material world, I do work in PR and in public relations and journalism. So if you're watching this at home, sorry, if you are watching this, let me start again. Everybody, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, please do put a positive comment. Please do like, love, or care for it. And please do share the link with your friends and your family and the pages and Facebook groups that you're involved with. We always love to receive feedback on our podcasts. We get a lot of positive feedback. And mostly on every podcast, I do receive messages after telling me what they think about me or what they think about the guest. So this has been episode number 64. Until next week, we'll see you all soon. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.